Hello and welcome back to Better Than Adventure. Today, I'm doing the same thing I did in the last episode, but on this side. Which, if you weren't here, that meant building a fancy-ish, not really fancy, but a functional redstone door, whose point is to let me seamlessly, and I'm gonna have to move this one by a block, it doesn't matter. The idea is to seamlessly be able to enter and exit these areas without appearing weird to all the delightful creatures which live in these parts, you know? That's the idea. Although, an issue I've already kind of discovered here is how am I going to do it here? Because when these are opened up, as you can see, yeah, okay, so when these are removed, this is how the exit would be. It was always meant to look like this. Do not question why it's like this. Okay, so now that I've very slightly modified the landscape so it fits the machine I'm trying to build, now is when we enter the fun process of trying to build the machine. So, this one's gonna be built a little bit differently because it's in a different situation. Yeah, how am I gonna build the sand one? I haven't even thought of that. Anyways, yeah, so with this one, you know, this will obviously trigger these guys. And, same sort of thing here. You know? So we just have to add, like, the similar stuff we did last time. So, like, this goes over here. This goes over here. And then... Give me another torch. Then we add, like, a repeater here. Another repeater here. Then we connect this to the central circuitry. Except, you know, we also, oh no, we do this. Yeah, because then, over here, I can add... Come here. I can do this. And this. And so then... You can see, the door will be, at least from this side, completely closed. But then you pull this, and it completely opens. Yay! So yeah. That's going to be the idea. And, so now we just have to build the same flip-flop I did last time. So we go to, like, all the way over here. We add one of these. We add, some block and this, so there's a bit of a buffer. Then we add the signal input. Then we add a way for it to output. Like this. And then you just add, like, the mechanism. Which is, if I remember correctly from last time, literally just this. So then we add you. And then we have to trigger this somehow. And yeah. Look, guys, it's, the door is open, and there's a wolf inside. But if I hit it again... Come on. Look, guys, the door is closed now, and now the wolf is stuck, and now the wolf is gonna get hurt. Maybe not. Well, at least he's made it out. Okay, so now I have to put the button somewhere. Over here. No, this isn't gonna work, but it's gonna work over here. And I'll dig down. Yeah, it is actually gonna work over here. Because this time there is actual space as opposed to last time. And I'm gonna just preemptively, like, add a repeater over here. Okay. Wait, no, I have to actually put the redstone dust. Yeah. That works fine. And then over here, you know, again, there's just a button, which on the other side leads to this. And then I pull it and... Yerp. Works flawlessly. Kinda crazy how once you get a design down, it actually works. Okay. And now... It is sort of... Okay, well, I have to remove this and replace it with, like, this, I believe. Correct? Yeah. Goes from completely hidden to completely visible. So now comes the Herculean task of... What do I do here? This is sand. Sand will fall. Okay. How the fuck do I do this? Wait. Okay. Fuck, okay. What I could do, since I could just have sand. Yeah, I think I can just... Well, I would have to sort of move this out of the way as well then. Okay, here's my idea, right? So I could have the same thing I did back there, right? But, I just have to use... Well, I have only sticky pistons, but it's fine. It's still gonna function, right? So this is the idea, right? If, yeah. Well, it's gonna have to depend. It's gonna have to depend on if sand breaks when the sticky piston underneath it moves. Because if that happens, the entire design doesn't work. And I'm boned. If it does work, oops, I may have a chance of getting this to work. So let's try this again. So I have 2 blocks of stone here, into which 2 repeaters feed into. And once more, I craft more repeaters. The one item that is made... It's just so much cheaper, okay? It just is. It's so nice. Can't get over how nice that is. Also, not being able to access this side is gonna make this a lot more annoying, but it is what it is. Yeah, okay, we got it. So then over here, that'll function. Now over here, is this going to function? I also need more levers, so... Oops. Okay, so will this actually function? And then... So let me try this again without breaking anything. Okay, so if I... Oh! I see the issue. Okay, hold on. I need that piece of redstone. Thank you. Yeah, not like I have an ocean of redstone back at home. I definitely need that one piece. So let's try this again. Go down, back, back. Well, that works. So the only thing I would need to do now... okay, yeah. Okay, so this functions. And, yeah, that means I can... Yeah, okay, so then the only thing which I would have to do is I would have to put polished stone here. And, like, over here. And, yeah, sort of, like, replace the underside over here so it's not made out of dirt. And then I should be fine. I should be golden. And that's not a FNAF reference. But I think it's funny to say that it's not, because now people will think it is. There we go. Maybe it's a better idea to just completely excavate all the sand until later. Okay. Yeah, there we go. There's no way you can tell. Except over here. Oops. Hold on. There we go. So here's the idea. We'll have this system, and I'll just re-add the torches from the previous side. So, yeah, move this back. I'm gonna replace this with the torch. So that's permanently on. No. I'll have to replace this with a torch, but I can't go up here because of the sand. Or, theoretically, I do this, and I do this. Ta-da! Yeah, perfect. Okay. I do this. Now, if I, re-add this back where it belongs, it should be fine. Yeah, one side is powered. Now, with a similar amount of tomfoolery, I can get the other side powered by just adding, like, a thing here, which powers this, and then this goes up here, then there's a torch over here, and there's a piece of sand over it, there's a sand piece over this. Oh, I can't do that. Okay, add another torch. This is broken again. Because that's not supposed to move. Shit. Okay. We're getting there, we're getting there. Then, re-add the missing sand pieces. Okay, there we go. We're basically already there. So now I just have to, put this here. And, put this here. I don't know why I removed that. Because that just breaks everything. Okay. Please, go back. No, wait. I have to go forwards. Oh, fuck. Let me retry this. Okay. I have to. First of all, trigger this. Trigger this. Then go back up here to replace that. Put that back. There we go. Okay. So now, in the default off state, I have to trigger this somehow, and I'm gonna do that by, not doing that, but by doing this. And then... No, I'll have to put it over here. Wait, no, okay. I'll just remove all of this and re-sand it later, okay? We add this over here. Then we add this over here. And then I add the repeater here, which will get its signal from over there. Okay. So, now, oh. Causing more problems. Okay, whatever. I'll put it back later. Okay. So now, if I would pull this, assuming that for some reason I didn't give it a 4-tick signal for no reason over there. Okay, now I do the same thing in this side, right? Yeah. So just dig it up. Doesn't matter. Dig up the sand. Then, once more, repeat the same dumb set of actions. Now when I pull this, it should all open. my god, it's perfectly stupid. Yeah. I mean, it looks cool as long as you don't know what's actually, like, the jank that is actually happening in the background, but, that is what gives the Minecraft redstone building its charm, you know? What you can't... I placed one too many pieces of sand. Where? Here? No. Here? No. Somewhere, there is a piece of... Oh, over here. I knew there was a piece of sand which didn't belong somewhere, because I had an extra piece of sand for this. So yeah, we add this, we add you. And I'm gonna have to, just so I don't waste too many resources, figure out, how much stuff I will, exactly need, okay? Okay, did I break something now again? Because, yeah, this will be fine. No, this seems to be working. So I need 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's actually convenient. Can you believe how redstone is, like, kinda... This is something which I don't like with a lot of, like, modern redstone stuff. Oh, I made one too many because I can't count. Whatever. One thing which I don't like with a lot of modern redstone stuff, and it is kind of a dumb complaint, but it's a genuine complaint that I have. I feel like a lot of them are way too clean. What I specifically mean by being way too clean, I mean, they're like... It's kind of like saying, oh yeah, hey, we're doing this now, we're doing that now. There's no real room for stupidity and to make things feel like you're kind of, you know, juggling a bunch of things you barely understand. Old school redstone, the, like, two kinds of it that I remember, were either like, oh shit, were either like people who were back in Minecraft Alpha before creative mode, making giant, like, dirt computers, because that was, like, by far the cheapest material to build, like, the computer, like, you know, the path for the redstone out of, and that was before repeaters, so, like, I can't imagine how difficult it must have been, but I hugely respect it. And like, that era of redstone building was kind of what I remember. And the modern, oh yeah, look at how sanitized everything is now. We can just, you know, build this, build that, use these modern blocks which make everything easier. It's a definite improvement, but you kind of miss sometimes how scrappy and stupid things used to be. So that button functions. Let me just remove you and replace you with stone. Now, how much effort would it be for me to also replace this somehow with slabs? Well, I would need another set of pistons here and a set of pistons over here, and that would still be way too much work. But now I can do this, and there we go. So, I'll just, oops, I'll take a few screenshots. Because I feel like this is what I have to do now. And yeah, so basically this is the idea of, also I'm just gonna, hopefully the chest is empty. It is empty enough for me to steal. But yeah. This is a part of the things which I find really fun in beta Minecraft. It's just like having these weirdo sort of structures. Also, you know, this is actually kind of longer on one side or whatever. But yeah, like, just kind of having this sort of weird stuff, right? For some reason, the blocks desync whenever they're moving on pistons, but the end result is correct, so just don't look at the moving animation. It can be a little bit trippy. Anyways, yeah. Where was the button here again? Like, over yonder? Shit. Correct. I'm gonna actually replace this one and move it somewhere else. Because I feel like it's a little bit too far. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I just think that placing it here was more me having a skill issue, and because you know there was no what I could have literally just placed it here. Yeah, that was such a skill issue. Oh, whatever. It's kind of obvious, but it's sort of out of the way, you know? And I think that's fine. And now we go down, you know, the big oh, wait. I nearly forgot. It's finally time to remove the hideous waterfall. Oh, and if you're wondering, why I have, if you're wondering, like, specifically, why I have chosen to build these things so ugly, well, they're not ugly. They're just designed to sort of evoke, those kinds of, like, quote-unquote brutalist aesthetics, I guess you could call them. But not brutalism in a cringe sense. I'm to speed up time, I have to see the way I did this. Okay, just really. Okay. I just do not want to waste 50 years going up and down the stairs, I'm sorry. If this really if this really bothers you, I'm sorry. Oh yeah, fuck, I'm out of stone. Huh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I am one singular. No. I resist. Okay. So what I'll have to do now is go back and get some more stone, and I have a feeling that there's no more stone. I guess I can also do this, and then like this. Just to signify you can't go over there. Actually, no, what I'll do is I'll just remove this one, and I'll remove this one, and I'll remove this one, and then over here, and over here. Anyways, so yeah. I really like this. One thing which I have to... Oh. I'll have to get more of it anyways. Okay, whatever. One thing which I do admit is there's still no easy way to get up and down from this, except on that one staircase. I'll fix that, don't worry, eventually. But I think that for now, I'm quite happy with what I've made. There is just, this big sort of structure, and the pathway leading to it is a bit convoluted. I don't know, I really like that. Maybe it's a little bit janky, maybe it looks a little bit weird, maybe it's kind of a nightmare to navigate. But hey. Yeah. That's what you get when I'm the one designing it. It's what you signed up for. I do kind of have a bit of an affinity for things which feel a little bit nightmarish to traverse. For no other real reason except I do find it kind of fun when you're kind of lost. And I know, like, these days, people like to talk about, like, liminal sort of vibes or whatever, but For me, I just kind of like vibes that are sort of, you know, I mentioned this before. I think I kind of prefer the term surreal to liminal, purely because I feel like it's an accurate description of what I'm going for. It needs to feel weird, it needs to feel off. I feel like liminal is not a very good descriptor because it focuses on, like, oh, for fuck's sake, not again. Okay, it's going down normally now. Okay, I think it may have just had another source block, but, I thought it did the thing again, where it just got stuck and refused to update, so I just flew up in hopes of having to manually, you know, delete it. I thought I was gonna have to manually, like, delete it block by block, like the last time it bugged out on me, but, no, it turns out I was just stupid. Whatever. If that bothers you, my sincerest apologies. Yeah. I say if that bothers you, but purely mostly as a joke. That really shouldn't bother you. But oh well. Like, it's one of those things, you know? This is a single player game. I know some people will just, like, you know, there are, especially children, right? They will spawn in with all diamond tools. Or, like, all netherite, sorry. Now it's fancy, you know, to have netherite tools. And then they'll just, like, build a house out of diamond blocks in survival mode because they have, like, /give. And it's like, wow, look at what I made. And then they get bored and leave. And they never quite understand why, like, someone like me can put so much time into the game just, like, vibing. I feel like that's kind of, one of the biggest things which I feel like a lot of people do not get about Minecraft is that, it's a game whose core tenant is specifically, like, the lack of resources, if that makes sense. I feel like one nice thing about modern Minecraft, which I feel like, I guess one thing which could have been nice but they ruined is the idea of having non-local resources. Better Than Adventure, I think, does a really good job by sort of forcing you to, if you want to get, like, rare types of wood, not wooden planks, you can just repaint them, right? Which is fun. But if you want to get rare wooden logs, sometimes you do have to, like, explore. So I love how I've put off building, like, a staircase when it's this simple to make. So stupid. But yeah, I feel like Minecraft would have been a much better game if they went down that approach and not also locked down wooden, like, planks. But yeah, I think it's I think the entire idea of, like, having, for instance, like, you know, it is, unless I use a special kind of cobblestone generator, I just won't have access to, like, limestone for most of my playthrough. Unless I go and explore and specifically seek it out. And I know for some people that's a nightmare, but I can't say I necessarily think it's a bad idea. In a game like Minecraft, I feel like giving you such a simple yet completely avoidable reason to explore, I think it fits in quite well with how the game should handle player freedom. Like, it's a game basically all about you sort of doing what you want. And I feel like making it so one of the big reasons you would want to explore is specifically so you either A, get, like, stuff you can't get at home, like that, it's like a golden, it's like one of the golden thingies which lets you do, like, some stuff. It's cool. But just the fact that, like, you know, you have to give a player a reason to explore in a way where they don't feel like they're forced to explore, because at the end of the day, it's still a sandbox game, and you can't really, you know, force players to run around that hard in a game that is still fundamentally a sandbox. Also, yeah, I'm building, like, some side steps here because it's gonna be annoying to access this area otherwise. But yeah, that's sort of how I feel about it, and I know that, like, some of this stuff, okay, one of my pet peeves is when someone in a YouTube video acts like, oh, my opinion on this video game is gonna be so controversial. Warning, guys, I have a hot take. Be careful, this take may upset some people. And then the take is something basic. But no, I genuinely think that, like, with Minecraft, you kind of have to... It's a difficult thing to balance, nearly impossible. And I feel like because Minecraft went in the direction of, like, the adventure update forcing you to, like, find the end to the game, I feel like the game's game design kind of stopped functioning in the way... Oh, that's a rather unfortunate staircase end. Well, I can just move it by a few blocks, it's fine. I feel like Beta's design, for instance, like the Aether mod, I find it interesting. If there was one thing which I would do if I was, like, the lead designer of Minecraft, is, I would make it so each dimension has its own sort of mini-meta, if that makes sense. Like, for instance, the overworld would just purely be about, like, you know, it being a sandbox. The Nether would purely be about gathering, like, resources. You could obviously base in all of them, that's why they look nice. But the Nether would specifically be designed around just gathering things and, you know, basically just, it'd be the resource gathering and traversal realm, whose entire point is to get you from A to B or whatever. Then the Aether could be like in the Aether mod, where it's more structured. That's kind of like why I don't necessarily dislike the Twilight Forest mod. It's because it doesn't force, like, the Twilight Forest onto the base game, if that makes sense. It instead kind of enforces the Twilight Forest idea on its own dimension, which you can engage with if you want. And I feel like the Aether specifically can be a really fun idea in the sense that you have, like, almost like a smaller sort of more combat-focused Minecraft experience that piggybacks off of the regular game's mechanics. And, like, yeah, sure, I understand that that's not what the game was built around, but I feel like it's still Minecraft at the end of the day. And while you may disagree with me that it's something that could fit in the base game, I think you could agree that this kind of sandboxy design could fit into something like Beta. And of course, like, you know, it's at the end of the day, this is we got a chicken! At the end of the day, like, this is still better than adventure. But I feel like you could do a lot with the idea. Maybe not the actual Aether mod, because that's already a mod that exists. And I don't know how the mod's creator would feel like another mod basically just ripping it off. But, yeah, I don't know. And that's kind of why I think, like, having some Zeppelin mod-esque mod for the, like, thing which you can get from the Aether mod would be kind of game-breaking, but I can't say I wouldn't want to see it, or that I think it's impossible to balance. At the end of the day, I don't know. I have a lot of ideas for how Better Than Adventure could get more stuff added to it, but I don't have that many ideas on what would necessarily improve it, because for that, it'd require me to actually test out the thing and know how to do that. And I don't know how it would be balanced. Anyways, yeah, I'll see you next time. Goodbye.